Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. This is brilliant. So we're at StudioCon, last session of the day. Saving the best for last. This
Come
is
on.
my friend. This is my friend Rob Balasabas from TubeBuddy, and we've just been chatting, and we were wanting to share some stuff around how you can use YouTube really well in school. First thing to say, we've put it in chat as well. If anybody's having any issues with certain bits of video getting through firewall stuff, we will make sure that this is available to watch afterwards. Absolutely, of course we will. Rob, thank you so much for, first of all, thank you for my swag.
Yeah, awesome. Made it.
I think, yay! I think next year, I think we'll be making sure that we have some StudioCon swag, which will be coming your way.
Awesome. Perfect.
It's good to see you, man. Thank you for joining us. It would
Yeah.
be amazing. Would you just tell us a bit about you, who you are, and what you do?
Sure. Ian, thank you so much. Awesome honor here to be part of the summit and speaking to everyone. Hello, my name is Rob Balasabas. I'm with a company called TubeBuddy, so based out here in Vancouver, and we are a YouTube software. So we are a software that a lot of YouTubers use. We've got 80 different sort of tools inside of our platform for YouTubers across the board, whether you're small or large. And I think, Ian, we just kind of reached like a really big milestone. I think it was 4 million installs or something like that. Something crazy,
That's
there's
crazy.
Yeah. So it's awesome. And yeah, so I'm excited to be here, talk about videos, live streaming, YouTube, and answer any questions you guys may have.
That's awesome. Thanks, Rob. Really, really grateful that you're here. I think it would be really good just to give us a bit of an idea, if you're happy to, for folks who haven't even gone anywhere near YouTube from a school point of view. Where would you start?
Yeah, where do you start? Yeah, I think that's a big. Yeah, I think that's a big question.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a huge question, and it's something that I've had to ask myself when I started on YouTube, because YouTube can be, Ian, it can be like, it's a little bit overwhelming sometimes, right? When you're starting, you're like, where do I start? There's thumbnails. There's already all of these YouTube creators out there that have been on here for years. They've got thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers, and you start thinking to yourself, kind of start talking yourself out of it. Like, hey, it's too late. There's no space for me. I'm starting. Or, we have a lot of people here that are involved with schools, obviously. And so I think where you start is, first, you got to create the channel, right? Creating the channel is really easy. Getting the banner, getting all of that branding stuff set up. That's really easy. But I think the second thing that you really have to think about, Ian, is what is your goal with YouTube? Even though you're a school, is your goal to get more students? Is it to grow your reach? Is it maybe right now during sort of this crazy time in the world, maybe you are leaning into online education more with your school? So are you doing live streaming? Maybe it's a place for you to house your live stream content and grow your community. So I think understanding your goal, and your goal can change, right? Your goal can change down the road as you do this more. Your goal can change. You're like, hey, you know what? We wanted to do live streaming, but it seems like this is a really cool place to build a community. All right. So then your goals kind of change. So having an understanding of your goal, Ian, is probably where I would start. And then beyond that, we can talk about content planning and how often do you upload and all those things.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I think so. We started doing stuff from our point of view, and some of the other sessions, what we've chatted about is how you can use a load of different tools to create a really broad, what we kind of call parental engagement strategy. And what sits at the center of all of that, certainly from our point of view, where all your kind of audiences congregate, is your school website. So if you've got stuff that sits in the periphery, so using SMS message services or using email or using social, the meat of all the information it is going to be on your website. Actually, your video stuff, so from a YouTube point of view, it's slightly different, isn't it? Because you might decide that you're going to embed some of those video content on your site because that's where your audience lives most of the time. But it actually gives you really good opportunities to draw people into the community, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So even if your website is going to be the home base for your content, then obviously YouTube is again just another way for many reasons. It could be a traffic source if you're trying to attract new students. It could be a place to share your content. Some people are more likely to they spend way more time, most likely on YouTube versus your website. So you'll get their attention more if they're subscribed to your YouTube channel. So it's not like one or the other. It's like my website
Yeah.
versus YouTube. They can work together really well. You know, you can kind of, attract them and connect with them on YouTube. But then maybe if you have more further resources that's not on YouTube, then you can direct them to your website. So that's how you look at it. I've always kind of looked for a really long time. I've looked at social channels as not the sort of like the end goal. You know, a lot of people say, I want to just grow a YouTube channel. I just want to grow a YouTube channel or a Facebook page or a LinkedIn profile. But to me, they're just very much at the top. They're the top of your funnel, right? If you look at your funnel where the top is introductory and then the bottom is the goal, whatever that is, maybe people to sign up for your school or register. YouTube, social media sits for me at the top. That's where you attract the most people. There's so much people watching content and searching for videos and asking questions on YouTube. So that's where you want to meet them and then bring them into, your world, if that's your website or your online courses or anything like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What about if people are wanting to grow a channel as a school?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff? And I know we really want to talk about TubeBuddy because that's such an ally, isn't it? It's such a powerful piece of kit that helps so much. We found that massively. But what are some of your kind of top tips on how a school could maybe start to think about growing their channel and engaging the community through YouTube?
Yeah, great question, Ian. So I'll give you a few tips from my own personal experience and journey on YouTube. So my personal YouTube channel, not TubeBuddy's YouTube channel has been around for a few years, and it's got a couple more subscribers than my channel, but my own personal channel. So I've started YouTube about 2 years ago. That's my personal channel. But I didn't really take it really seriously until about a year ago, and it took me about 18 months, Ian, to get my first 100 subscribers, I think, or something like that. Or sorry, my first 1,000 subscribers. It took me a while to get my first 100 as well. But four things that I'd like to share in terms of growing your channel. First, you got to be consistent, right? Be consistent. So I talk to a lot of people that want to grow their YouTube channel. Some of them it's just a hobby, it's a passion. It's a family vlog diary. It's for us. We don't really, whether it grows or not, it's fine. But if you're a business, if you're a school, if you're a brand, then you want to be consistent. And so for me, that's at least uploading at least once a week at least. Okay. That helps the algorithms and all those things for sure. But it also helps you as a content creator, as a group that wants to grow their YouTube channel, to understand how YouTube works, right? It's more repetition, more practice. You get to understand analytics and keywords and all that stuff. Second is collaborations. So collaborations for me have been key. If you go to my personal channel after this, not right now, but if you
we'll share links for sure. We'll definitely share links.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, just take a look at that because I have done so many, probably on a weekly basis for almost the last year or so. I've done interviews. So I've interviewed, video experts and marketing experts and people in my space. And so you can do the same thing. You can interview, instructors, maybe even students or alumni or, other schools, people in your world that your audience would find, of value. The content that they have would be of value to your audience. The cool thing about collaboration for me is I get to connect with other like-minded people, building my own community of peers, but also it gives you an opportunity to be shared by those people, right? So for me, if I interviewed Ian, he would likely share that piece of content with his audience, which would likely be my audience as well, my target audience as well. So that helps my channel grow. The second thing is the third thing is community. So even as a small channel, make sure that you're replying to comments. Make sure that in the videos you are, you're talking to people, right? Not talking at people, right? So just understand that, everyone, even though you have hundreds or thousands of subscribers, people usually watch YouTube by themselves. So talk to one person, right? So build community, right? That's really important. The easiest way for me, I figured out sort of that my channel grows because I just answer questions. You'll see a lot of tutorials, and a lot of the content that I create are just me answering people's questions from the comments, and that's really it. And then the fourth thing is, again, just having a plan. So this goes to consistency. And so I think Ian will share, and again, it's not something that I care to monetize or charge you for or anything, but there's a checklist. So I have a checklist for every video that I create on YouTube, from the videos, like from coming up with the idea to filming, to editing, to then sharing and promoting, all those things. For me, it's a checklist because YouTube is, I think kind of life. It's kind of like life, right? There's a lot of small details that sometimes you'll forget. And so I want to make sure that I remember all those things. And so the best way for me to do that is just have a checklist.
Love
this
a
is
checklist.
all. Checklists are so good. And also it's, if you have a team, or if you plan to eventually maybe, delegate some of the YouTube tasks to somebody else, then you have a checklist. You can say, all right, cool. We've got, Dave, who's going to take over the uploading of our videos. So Dave, here's your portion of the checklist, do these things every time we have a new video, right? Oh, all right. We have a new editor. Okay, awesome. All right. Here you go, editor. This is what we do when we edit our videos. These are the lower thirds. These are the introduction files, all those things. So it helps you to be really, by being having a checklist, to be consistent and efficient. So I think, Ian, if you kind of start with that, that can delegate you into the world of YouTube. And along the way, your checklist, my checklist gets edited probably every couple of weeks, because then something new will come up. There's a new YouTube algorithm policy thing that needs to change. And so we need to change our checklist. But, for the most part, it helps us be consistent.
That's so helpful. I think one of the things I wanted to ask you about is people in schools are so time poor. They're pulled in so many different directions. So having strategies to make it so it's something that we are going to do consistently, and we're sharing the burden of it is super helpful. And while you're chatting, I'm thinking about some of the specific schools we're working with and some of the things that I know that they want to do, and some of the requirements that are on schools. So Rob, you won't know this, but over here, the school, I don't know what it's like over there from this side of things, but schools have to do certain stuff with their websites. So they have to pub certain bits of information, and then inspectors go into school. Before they go into school, they'll look at the school website, and they'll use the website to try and get a rich picture of what the school's actually like before they go. Which might sound a bit weird, but that is what they do. And then before that, there's teams of researchers who do that as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a kind of government kind of level. So it's all a bit bonkers. But one of the things that they're doing, and again, while you're talking, I'm just thinking this might be a really good use for people, is schools have to evidence the stuff they say they're going to do. So for example, if they say we're a really inclusive school, so people with special needs disabilities, we're really inclusive of those, you're meant to prove it, and you're meant to do it on your website before somebody comes in to visit you. That's really powerful potentially from a video point of view, isn't it? And kit wise, very often schools have got things like iPads and stuff in school, so all the gear's there. It's just thinking about what approaches we can take to start sharing that kind of content.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that checklist, it's that consistency. I come up with, I use Trello. And so this is something I talk to a lot of content creators and people on YouTube, and they have ideas all the time. They're like walking around and they're like, somebody would ask them a question, or they're having a conversation, or they're having lunch. They're like, oh man, that'd be a good video right there. And there's a good topic. So then, using tools like Trello or Asana or any of these things, you can then on the go, because there's different apps for that. You can just put your ideas down. But yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, yeah, you can have your stories, you can tell stories, you can interview, like I said, instructors, people that are involved in your school. So that for that reason there, Ian, you know, and you put up a good point there that, you know, I mean, schools, business owners, you know, we're all strapped for time. And so one of the things that you can do, which helps me, I know that there's some seasons, you know, in the year and life, you know, when work gets really crazy or life gets crazy, and I'm like, I don't have time to edit. I want to keep consistency with my YouTube channel, because I know that grows my channel. So what you can do is you can start thinking about doing live streams like we're doing right now. Right. The nice thing about live streams is that it takes out a huge chunk of time from editing. So you don't have to do the editing. You can if you want.
Hooray.
You know, a lot of people will. Some people will. But you can just do this conversation like this, have 5 questions for your guest, and then that's a piece of content that goes on your channel. And for YouTube, the way that YouTube sees it is that that's a piece of content. That's, you know, that's something new, right? So if you look at YouTube kind of like a store, they kind of look at your channel as like a little mini store. And so how many SKUs do you have? How many products do you have? Okay, well, the last product that you put up was like a month ago. It's kind of stale now, you know?
Yeah.
So do you have a new product? So a new product can be an uploaded video or a live stream.
Yeah, and there's so many things that schools could do for that. There are so many things. I mean, obviously schools are everywhere, but you can just think about primary school, and the amazing stuff that goes on in school every day. And if we have, again, thinking of how everything links together and stuff that might go on your website as a news article, if you've created a video, which schools certainly to some extent will already be doing, and you potentially you've been on a trip, or you've had somebody visiting school, or there's been a club that's done something amazing, or whatever it is, if you've captured it and you've put it on your site. But actually, I think if you're using YouTube and you're setting that up properly, and we'll talk about TubeBuddy in a second, but if you're setting that up properly and it's covering all those different channels, then I think you have a really good potential to create something really special as part of your school community. And I don't think many are doing that right now. I don't think many are doing it. Tell us about TubeBuddy. So I've used TubeBuddy. I'm having basically on pretty much on your recommendation, I think. But it's an awesome piece of kit, and it starts at free, which is always a bonus. But you can do a load with that. Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, what is TubeBuddy? I know. It's sometimes I have a hard time explaining it as well. But you know, okay, so YouTube is a huge space, right? We all kind of agree. There's lots of data, there's lots of things that you need to do. So TubeBuddy is a company based in San Diego. It's in California. 4 co-founders who are all developers, and they've been in some point, some way in the last probably 10 years or so building software for YouTube. TubeBuddy is about 6 years old and got millions of people, millions of channels that have used us. We are partnered with Google and YouTube, so we have direct access to their API and data. And so really what we do is we just make your life on YouTube a lot easier. So there's tools like Keyword Explorer to help you identify different keywords that are going to be good for your channel. There's SEO Studio to help really make your videos SEO friendly. You know, there's A/B testing for thumbnails, so you can test 2 versions of your thumbnails and see which one people click on more. You'll be surprised actually which one people click on. I've always been surprised. Like, you like that one? That one is so boring. You know, there's as your channel grows, this is for people that even with a smaller channel like mine with a couple thousand subscribers, I get tons of comments every single day, you know, a couple dozen comments. And so that can be time consuming. So we created a canned comment reply tool. So you can set up, like, you know, for frequently asked questions, you can set up canned comments. And so, yeah, so again, it's, you know, I could talk about it for hours, but yeah, it's a tool that helps your life on YouTube a lot easier. And there's over 80 different tools there. Like Ian said, there's a free version and there's no expiry. I think in the free version, there's about 30 different tools that you can use. So by all means, we're not a salesy, promotionally kind of company.
No,
so
it's a really good starting point.
Just go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Just start using it. And we're just happy that you're using it to help you grow your channel.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I am going to put this link up here because you very kindly said that anybody that wants to have a look at any of the plans, you can
Thanks.
have a free month on that as well. So we've just linked to that as well. So folks, you can jump on that. Is there anything else you would share with us? I think we've covered some amazing stuff so fast, and I know that would be really helpful for people to go and jump on. And of course, that checklist is there for people to go and have a play with. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap things up, Rob?
Yeah, no, I just want to thank you. I mean, I'm grateful for the opportunity to share, and by all means, please look me up and connect with us. I'm always happy to answer questions. So if I can't answer it, I'll try to point you in the direction that somebody that can. So yeah, feel free to look me up on YouTube or Instagram or LinkedIn. That's probably the best place. And would love to help you in your journey with growing your YouTube channel.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Rob. I'm so grateful for your time, and we will post links to Rob's so LinkedIn and his YouTube channel, and we'll do that straight away. But Rob, again, thank you for. Gosh, it's silly o'clock, isn't it? It's what is it, 20:07 in the morning or something?
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
That's all right. That's not bad. But thank you so much for getting up and joining us for this session today at SkilioCon, and folks, thank you again. Just don't forget that if you want access to any of the sessions for up to 12 months here, just whiz over and get a VIP ticket. But yeah, thank you for joining us. And again, one more time, thanks so much, Rob. It's been
thank you, Ian.
Really good to chat. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Take care, man.